The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We'll start out the day like we usually do, going across the pond over to the UK, and you can see that the UK market has made a beautiful Gartley pattern. You can see it there in the beautiful purple pattern that's been drawn for you. And then following that, you'll see the German DAX that's had that big drop down, and then the very, very strong counter trend rally that started back on the 15th. Whether that's going to be ending now or not, we'll wait and see. But there's a few charts here that I'd like to go over with you that I think are relatively important. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch gears, and we're going to go over to the Nasdaq, and we'll look at the Nasdaq on a longer time frame here, going back to the low that we made back in 2020. You'll notice, folks, that the pattern that we made there, you'll see the right here where the mouse is sitting right there, that was an exact 382 retracement of this low that was way back there. And as you notice, we made a slightly lower low, and then boom, away we went to the upside. But the sequence of what's happening now is what we think is very important for us to look at. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and we're going to look at it two different ways. First of all, we're going to look at it the easy way, which is looking at our usual good friend, the old, hold on just a second, I've got to get this up here. Now this is the Nasdaq, folks. You'll see, I believe this is a 4-hour chart. We had the big low way back here. We had the A, there's the B, there's the C, and there's your D way up here. And you also have another, if you look at it closely, you got another A, B, C, D. Everything's measuring up there. And if you look at that number right there, folks, that's the old magical 1.618. So that's why this one is so very important. You could have drawn all of those patterns in with all the swings, but that would have made it a little too cluttered. We get this from our good friend Marco over in Denmark, who is an expert in the trading of indexes using the pattern recognition swing trading format that we like to use here. Now, what I wanted there's one other one here, which is the last one that I think is very, very important, because you're going to I want to compare it with what the Elliott wave guys are doing, and then we're going to look at a few things here that would help us take a look at these. So anyway, this is the near term, what we're looking at right now here in the Nasdaq, and as you can see here, the rally that we're having today has come in exactly. Now, this is what's really exciting, folks. When we posted that other one, I want you to see this. This is nothing more now is what we talk about in the Floor Traders Handbook, and that is look at the high today in the Nasdaq, folks. See, that is 2 standard deviations. The chances of it getting above 2 standard deviations is very, very slim. And the reasoning for that is because the options players have to stand in there and protect themselves at that point. And that's why we think it's so very, very important to pay attention to these numbers. They really are quite important. Sometimes, they don't work, but the odds are, I'm talking odds in the 80% category, that they work pretty good. I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes here from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. This is being bantered around because there's a war going on over in the Ukraine. If you haven't been informed of that, we'll get this up here and you'll be able to see it. But it's really a great saying, and I'll read it for the folks that are in their car or something, but it's from Sun Tzu, The Art of War, written around the same time that Pythagoras lived, and also Confucius. And he says, if you know your enemy and yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory game you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. And boys and girls, if that's not a description of trading, I don't know what is. So we got to put as many tools in our toolbox as we can, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, what I wanted to do now, I'm bringing this up just to show you. Hold on just a second. This will not take very long, but I wanted to get this up here. I want to show you the email that I got from one of our friends that, works on the Elliott wave. And if you notice here, what they're saying is that this could be a very strong probability of a high right in here is what they're, let's see if I get my little mouse there. Yeah, right in there is where the high should be. And then he looks over here where the Nasdaq has just made a 3 drive to a bottom. But they're saying that is just starting. Well, we're showing that the Nasdaq has just reached a major spot here, and that should be going down. That's just a difference in opinion, folks. That's all it is. But the one that's here, I want you to see this one on the left, because they only have 2 numbers to base this on. One is they're taking out the high of the previous week, and then there's another fib number way up there. But if you folks listen to the newsletter, or if you take the newsletter and follow some of the things that we look at in there, I want to bring this up because frankly, I think it's pretty important. Look at this pattern that we're looking at here let me get this up here because it'll only take 1 second, as I always say, and sometimes I'm right. Okay, here is what we're looking at on the daily E-mini. Now, this is the same thing that we saw on the Nasdaq. You just saw that. It's the same thing on the Dow Jones, but there's 0.1, there's 0.3, there's 0.5 right over there. It's a 135 pattern. We're right at the 50% of the whole down move, okay? We're at the 61% retracement of 0.3, and that number comes in at 44.73. I think the high today was 44.71 or 44.73. If we get above 44.85, this stuff is wrong and I'm going to go long. Well, not quite, but that's what we're looking at. That's a 135 pattern. That's lower tops. That's what that is. It's the reverse of 3 drive to a top pattern. And that's why all of those things coming together, when you add that to 1 standard deviation, boys and girls, that tells you that this market is getting ready to go to Florida, and I mean south. So anything new highs today, cancel my reservation because it ain't going to make it. But right now, unless we get above 44.80, this market looks like it's got everything going for it. There are 5 major things today to tell you to sell today. First was that 135 pattern. Second was a 50% retracement. Third was a 61% retracement. Fourth was a standard deviation. And for the life of me, I can't remember the 5th one. It'll come to me in a second, but I will get it up here eventually. Anyway, that's what we're watching here in these stock indices. They're all the same. You could look at them, and that's pretty much it. But if we get above 44.80, anytime this week, this market could go a great deal higher. And that's what we're saying, that it could, and it may, and it might. So that's all we can do it. Now, I've been asked to talk just a tiny bit about the Hang Seng market because we had this chart that was sent to us by, I don't remember, somebody, one of our friends up in the state of Oregon sent us this one here. And this is the one that was posted on the internet quite a bit about breaking that long-term trend line in the Hang Seng index. But folks, that was normal. Let's just bring that Hang Seng up. We'll get back, talk about it. It's 877-927-6648.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I just remembered the fifth thing of why the stock should have been sold today. The first four were technical, and the fifth one will be covered by Shane Smolian on Wednesday. It's related to, I guess, because today's the first day of spring, the spring equinox, and that's always a lot of fun. I've told you several times that I've gone to Mexico because we're only 72 miles from the Mexican border. I used to go there quite a bit down on the Copper Canyon train, and then I would go to Chichen Itza and stuff, and to see some of these wonderful, things that you see on Traders of the Lost Ark or Ancient Aliens, whichever you like to watch. And if if you go down there during the equinox, the one in March and then the one in September, just as the sun hits right above, exactly at 12 o'clock, the shadows of the pyramid form a snake, and it goes down the sides of the pyramid just out into the jungle. It's really incredible, folks. You could go online and see it. Just go to Chichen Itza equinox, and you'll see that on the spring and autumn equinoxes, you'll see those. That was built by the Mayans, many, many years ago, but it's really quite cool. Anyway, here's something someone asked me about what trading was like on the Ford. Folks, this is my trading card. Let me see if I can get this up and watch it while I'm watching so I can see what the heck's going on here. And I'll show you what it was really like, because there's the trading card there. You see my badge name was Pez, P-E-Z 19. And if you look on the far left where it says cars, that's how many contracts you were trading. The month, you can see that would have been June. Then you can see the seller. I just put in, I forget what I put in. I put in skip just for the heck of it. And that was the person on the other side of it. And then there was the price. And then the far right, you see bracket. That bracket, which was right there, you'll see it there on the very far right next to my other monitor there. That's the bracket you're in. Every 10 minutes, they would collect these cards, and that's how they determined whether there were out trades or not. Well, the problem is some of these guys got real busy and didn't turn in their cards. And believe me, if they got stuck with something, they didn't turn in the card at all, and that produced an out trade. And so if you had an out trade, you had to go to arbitration. And the thing is, if you got caught 3 times without a card, you were gone. That was it. You're over. That's it. No more trading on the floor. Goodbye. And that was it. Unfortunately, my second day there, I got tagged for a $6,800 out trade in the gold market. No. In the T-bill market, I did a 5-lot in T-bill that somebody didn't recognize. I should have made $300 per contract on the 5-lot. I end up losing a little over $6,800 in that. And of course, the guy that did it was banned from the exchange, but I had to pay the $6,800. From then on, I handed all of my cards, all of my orders on a little, you had a special slip there. If you were a member and you wanted to trade, it cost you $2 each side, buy and sell. So I would put my orders in there. You don't have to worry about out trade because the broker, the filling broker, took care of that. But most of the time it was very, very fair. But there were times where things like that happened that weren't too exciting. The other thing, I wanted to take a little break here from the normal technical stuff. Someone asked me a question about, NCAA basketball and, my fact that I was born from coming from Indiana. The only NCAA story I can tell you started in the fall of 1978. Indiana State was #1 in the country. They had won 22 games in a row, and they were promoting this little hick from French Lick named Larry Bird. And they were playing Bradley Braves from Nebraska, and they were playing on TV, national TV. And my buddies there and Terre Haute said, "Hey, you got to watch this guy because he's better than Oscar Robertson." And I said, "Boys," I said, "get a break." I said, "This guy couldn't hold, his hat." And son of a gun. And you know what happened was, they started the game, and they told me that Bird would score 50 points. He was averaging 33 a game. They said he'll score 50 points because he's on national TV. And he said they're going to win the game against Bradley. Bradley was very good at the time. And so at halftime comes, Larry Bird's got 6 points, and I swear to God, I could have played better than he did that first half. So I was calling up and chiding him a little bit, and I had about 5 of my high school and college buddies there, and they were giving me the runaround, and they said, "Hey, we'll bet you $100 that he scores 50 points. I said, "You're telling me he's going to get 44 points in the second half?" I said, "I don't bet, and I know that's why you guys are offering me that." And so the game starts, second half starts, and he comes out, and oh my God, folks, he was on fire. He wins the game, and they all go on to win the title for the Missouri Valley Conference. They get into the NCAA. They go down to the final game, or to the Final Four in Salt Lake City in March of 1979, and so there is Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. The rest is history. But the funny part of this, I had so many friends there. My whole family was there, and all my cousins and stuff. So there was about 20 in the family. And of course, I knew these buddies of mine. They helped get Larry Bird to come to Indiana State from Indiana, and they were taking up a collection for Larry Bird's mother, who needed dentures. Well, there were a lot of very rich people. I was not one of them, but there were some pretty rich people there that they took care of that without too much. Yes, the game was against Michigan State, and they played in the title game, and they lost by, I think they lost by 9 points. I don't remember, so we'll see anyway. Anyway, that was the thing, and from then on, I became a huge Larry Bird fan. I never missed the Celtics game all during the time that he played, from 1980 until he retired in 1992. The 12 years we get him in on the MSN Expert, the Massachusetts Sports Network, and I watched him all the time. So, and I got to meet the Birdman several times. His birthday is December the 7th, and they always had a fish fry, but because December 7th in the middle of the season, they would have the fish fries out at Max Bear's Ranch out on he had a big catfish farm there, and they would fish for catfish, drink beer, cook, but it was always on 4th of July because he was free during that time. Anyway, that's pretty much it as far as the basketball stuff. I watched the 3 or 4 of the games. They were very, very exciting, but the one most exciting was Arizona game last night. It was the last game to get the final 16 teams in, and oh my gosh, I hadn't seen anything like that in a long time. It was an overtime game, but and Arizona was favored by 14, and they just barely made it. I mean, but they did win, so we'll see what's going on. Okay, let's move on here. I covered that about the floor exchange stuff. I'll cover some other things that when we get back, some other charts that people have been asking me about. And also, I wanted to mention, Basil mentioned the Facebook thing that I mentioned back on March the 15th when we had that big move down in the Nasdaq, Hang Seng Index, and I want to finish that up today. There are no guests today, but tomorrow we have Jim Bartolioni of Bart's Charts, and then on Wednesday we're going to have Shane Smolian. Thursday and Friday are still up in the air for a couple of reasons here in Tucson that I have no control over, but hopefully we'll get everything sorted out. But we're going to have some great things here. Anyway, we'll get back. We got to take a break here right now. So 877-927-6648. If you have any questions, I'd like to call in. Al says the lines are all backed up right now, but keep trying, boys and girls. You might be able to squeak through. This is Larry Pesavento, a.k.a. Billy Ray Valentine, Capricorn. We'll be right back.
Are you having fun trading the markets, but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, there is the, so Jay's asking a question. What did Larry Bird do before he became a famous basketball player in college? He read meters for the gas company in Terre Haute, Indiana. This is an interesting story. He was number 3 in the state as a basketball player from Springs Valley, where he played, and he was number 3. He went to Indiana University to play for Bobby Knight. He lasted about a month. There was a lot of things that he really didn't like about the big college level, and so he went back and he was a garbage man. in French Lick, Indiana, is what he was doing. And then Bob Thompson, who was in charge of personal of what they call it, admissions at Indiana State, who's my very dear buddy, he was one of those guys that I was talking to you about. He and the coach went down to visit him and asked him to come to, to Terre Haute and play basketball for Indiana State, and they gave him a job. Max Baer gave him a job reading meters for the gas company, and so he made $2,500 a month for reading meters. Fortunately, there was a group of people that volunteered their time to read the meters for Larry Bird, and so that's how he paid his way. And then, of course, he started as a sophomore and played 3 years, and then from that it was history. And he and Magic Johnson basically reformed the NBA. You can see what it is right now, but it was certainly excited. Yes, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated that I still have, and with the little chippers there. Anyway, that was very exciting. He's a really nice guy, except when he gets about 18 beers in him, and boy, he gets a little ruly then. But he's just super nice, and he's very philanthropic and fun to be around. You should see him play softball, folks. My God, when he hits the ball, oh my God, it's really incredible. Okay, let's get back to what we need to look at here. Bobby Knight is retired, living in Florida, the good life at the age of 86 in great health. And I happen to know a little bit about him because Bobby Knight's first assistant at Indiana during all those years was Ron Felling, and you'll never guess who was in my wedding party. Yep, Ron Felling out of Riley, Indiana. He also went to Indiana State, but graduated 2 years ahead of me. Okay, let's get back to what we need to talk about. I posted the chart of Facebook. I didn't buy any myself. I don't buy stock, but you can see at 186 there were two major patterns coming in. There was a 786 off the low that we made last year, and a 61% retracement of the low from when it first came out, when it was trading at $29 a share. So that's pretty much it. Now, you don't have to worry about Bobby Knight selling furniture, folks. That dude's got a lot of money, in the millions. He was a really astute investor. I know for one thing, he was one of the original investors in Microsoft in 1982. I didn't know this until many years later, but that was one of the things that I remembered. Okay, the next one we want to talk about here, just give me a second here, and just to show you numbers. Now, I don't know if this one's working or not, but this is the one that I was posted into the newsletter this week. This happens to be Facebook. Now, what I'd like for you folks to do is you'll notice here that we had 382 retracements. We had one right here, and then we had one right on Friday, which said you should sell it. Now, if that's the case, Facebook or Netflix should not be above 380. Would someone tell me where Netflix is trading here this morning so we can get a pretty good idea of what it's doing there? I'd really like to know. So we'll see what's going on. All right, let's move on here. Someone give me a quote here on it should be under 380 if it's any good. Otherwise, if it hit 383, it's certainly no good. But on a $3 stock, a $380 stock, you only have to with $3. That's worth it. But 380 was a perfect 3.8 top, 377. So far it's worked for $3. I don't know. If it gets above 380, something's wrong. All it's doing is showing you the 382. Oh, by the way, I'll be traveling in the month of April and also the month of June. The month of April, I'm going to London with Tom Hugard and David Paul and Al Brooks, and we're going to be doing a big live seminar with live trading 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of April. And then in June, I'll be going to Dubai to do a 2-day trading seminar with Tom Hugard himself will be in that. And so I've been to Dubai and London, both a lot of fun. Dubai is really incredible because everything is brand new there. Even the trash is brand new. So that's it. Hold on 1 second here, and we'll get up another chart that we need to talk about, what I think is relatively important. Hold on, please, and we'll get her up here right now. Oh, dear. This is the one that is relatively important. Watch this one, folks. Let me get this up here. This is the chart of the junk bond market, HYG, the high yield bond market, also known as junk bonds. You'll see the low that we made here recently was at 382, And now we've had a little bit of a bounce, but folks, the bonds are not bouncing, folks. We might break 150 today, and we know that the bonds have a very, very strong cycle to the downside. This is something that we've been bearish bonds for a very long time, and they're getting more and more bearish as we speak. Now get this up here so you'll be able to see it here. This is the weekly chart. Sorry for my voice, folks. There we go. You'll see there's the bonds. We're breaking below these levels right now. That sets up the ABCD down here at 127, folks. Remember, way up here, this was a secondary high way back here. Remember, the high on this was almost 180, and that's when they were feeding us a story about negative interest rates, how important it was for you to give your money to somebody else and pay them for doing it, and they would not give you a guarantee to give your money back. What a sweet deal that was. And I wonder how many smart people bought it. And I tell you, I know a couple of smart people that have newsletters that did it and never mentioned it, but believe me, folks, that was not very smart. A third grader with an education on the second grade, I mean, no one would believe that. I mean, yet they tried to feed it to us. I could never understand that. And boy, I had some really heated arguments with some smart people, and I said, no, it's not. It's just like, I got started in this business, folks, with Gresham's Law. Bad money drives out good. Dr. Noblet said, look, you've got bills out there that are worth $1. It says pay to the bearer of demand 1 ounce of silver. Silver's trading at $1.27. You make 27% on your money. This when the interest rates were 2%. You were getting 27%, okay? And he said if the price of silver goes up, you'll make even more. Well, the price of silver went to $3.78. So if you bought a dollar bill in a grocery store and turned it in, you made $3.78. So if you had 1,000 of them, you made a lot of money. So that's basically how it all started. So just simple math. Bad money drives out good. And we've got that right now, folks. It's in the debt market. The debt market is just too big. When this thing comes unraveled, and it will, then you're going to be saying, holy moly, guacamole, why didn't I see that puppy coming? So let's remind ourselves of that. Now, let's get on to the, by the way, if you look at that bond market closely on the weekly, you can see the beautiful 135 pattern that formed. That's the same one that we had in the stock market today, 135, a mother god country. You can't make this up. It looks pretty good. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back after the words from our sponsor.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I've posted the chart here of the Japanese yen versus the dollar at 120. Boy, pay attention to that one, folks, because that's just as important as that number of 44.85 in the E-mini S&P, because if we get above 44.85, that signals there's something wrong with all these numbers, and we're going to go a lot higher. But right now, everything, someone asked a question in the break here, they texted me and said, what are the odds of this thing working, of this 135 pattern here in the S&P? The odds are better than 90%, folks. I mentioned those 5 different reasons. I mean, they're very important reasons. And, Shane will share the other one on Wednesday, but this is the kind you wait for. But watch this. I know if you don't trade foreign exchange, you just watch it, because it'll probably be in the news. We're very close. We're at 119 and change. So if we hit that 120 level, that's going to be real interesting. This has to do with the flow of money and who's playing the bills and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. The other thing to pay very close attention to, folks, is the weather. And we'll have Rich Anderson on next week to talk about the weather, because if we have any trouble at all with weather, we're going to see prices of these grains that are going to scare you. We could see $20 wheat and $20 beans and $12 corn. That's how bad it is out there. Any problem in South America, any problem here, there's famine across the world, folks, that we're not even aware of, mostly coming from India, and parts of India, of course, a lot of South Africa. The southern part and mid part of Africa, because they don't have the water supply that we have here. And the other thing is, I don't need to get into that. Let's move on to a couple others that I wanted to talk about. So let me bear with me here 1 second here, and we'll take a quick look at it here. Well, it won't be a quick look, but it will be a nice look. Let's just get it up here so we can see it here. And that one is the one we want to be talking about, is this gold market. And here's what we were getting ready to do. Put this chart up, and we will discuss where we are. I'm still very bullish gold, but boy, it's beginning to break my patience here. We must hold this level at 1894, folks. 1911 was the ideal buy. Now we're in the June gold. It's trading around 1932 or something like that. If you happen to be in that, make sure you put your stop at break at 1911. The low today was 1916, which was the low that we made, the 61% of the low that we made off of 1895. That low right there, that 61% retracement came in right today at 1916. We rallied $17 to that level, 1/2 the harmonic number, and stopped dead in its tracks. For gold to be any good, we got to get it above 1940 very shortly, or we could be going a lot lower. Remember, look up here, folks, at when we were at 2014, we were watching the fact that, look, That is a 382 retracement of the high from 2070. So you come right down to a 382, you go down, you make your ABCD pattern, and you're not bouncing. You got to pay attention to the charts, folks. You can't follow all the fundamentals. So, somebody's in here selling this darn thing, and I'm bullish and it's not going up, and I'm very frustrated, and I have my law firm, Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe, looking into the program, but so far they've not come up with any reasons why gold wants to rally. And, we've got a war in Ukraine. My God, what else you want? You've got debt problems everywhere. You can't get the countries to agree on anything. So pay attention. Very, very important. I wanted to bring this one to your attention, too, because we don't look at the cash market very often. But here is the cash market for the S&P. We'll get this up here. You can see it. These are the reasons why it was so important being short. You have a perfect 1, 3, 5. There's 1, there's 3, and there's 5. The timing between these highs, as you can see, is 52 trading days. You have a perfect ABCD in between here on the cash market. Gee whiz, boys and girls. If you can't do the ABCD up here when we were making a top here on January 4th, you see that perfect ABCD. Well, you should be able to do this one because now you're in a downtrend. You've got lower tops, you got lower bottoms. This is a bear market, at least for today. Tomorrow, if it's trading at, or today, if it's trading at 44.85, I will be on that slow boat to Tijuana. Well, no, it's got to be Nogales because I'm closer to the Nogales border down there, and I'll be on my way to Mexico to pick tomatoes for the El Camino del Real family in Guadalupe. Hold on here, folks. We got one other chart, very, very interesting on that same venue, and that is the Russell. Let's get this up here because the Russell has been the lagging sister between all this stuff. You'll get up here and you'll be able to see it here. We've got these lower tops here. We've been in. Look at this trading range we've been in, folks. Well over almost 2 months now, and we've not been able to break down and we've not been able to break up. So this is a major trading range. If it comes popping out of here, we're going higher. If it breaks below here, we're going lower. Odds favor going lower right now, but remember, chance favors the prepared mind. The quotes of none other than Louis, I call it like I see it, Pasteur. And he was certainly one smart dude, as we all know. So that was the Russell. Now, someone's asked the question about one of the currencies, and that is the one across the pond that I'll be traveling to very shortly. Sarah and I will be going to London, and you'll be looking at this right here. Here is the picture of the British pound. And as you can see here, we're starting to break lower now. And if we go below those levels that I'm talking about here, we'll be looking at 150 like it didn't even exist. This is a really, really nice chart. You can see the big ABCD up here at the top, the 135 pattern on the downside here from the high. Right there, there's another 135 pattern. So this one is heading lower, much like what the euro is doing. The euro is doing the doggone same thing. Let me get this so you folks can take a look at it. We got the same situation going in the euro. It looks bearish. That means the dollar still looking relatively strong. And we'll get this up here. So these charts are getting easier to use now that I know how to hit the right button. You'll see we had the really nice retracement here. You'll see what it was. There it was, exactly 382, and then going. JC's telling us that Bitcoin is going to have the micro futures trading on March the 28th. Well, I guess that's pretty good. I guess it would be okay. So we'll see if that's going to happen or not, and then we'll move on. We've got too late for calling in, folks. The lines are all filled up, and you're not going to be able to get in today, but hold your calls for tomorrow. We might be able to squeeze you in, but no promises, folks, no promises. We're very busy here at TFNN trying to give you the best information possible. And since we're talking about information and you're not paying anything for it, hold on just a second. I'll get it up here. Hold on just a minute here. Let's get this up here. Hold on, boys and girls. I messed up something. Here is the U.S. dollar index on the daily. And you'll see that we're in this really tight consolidation at this top level right in here. And if we can hold that and then break higher, boy, we're going to go a lot higher in that U.S. dollar. Why? I don't know. It shouldn't, given the fact that we're almost at war. And anybody that doesn't believe that we're not going to be drawn into this war should sit down with Grimm's fairy tales and listen to some of that stuff. 877-927-6640.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin right now. As you can see here, the 382 retracement's right around 47,000. We've been as low as around 31,000 right back in here. We've been in this real tight range now between 138. What am I talking about? Between 38,000 and 45,000. If we break above that, you can see the possibility of an A, B, C, D forming up here near the 382. So if we get that, anything above 53, 54,000, I'm told by a little bird that you're going to be looking at the 3 drive to a top pattern, drive 1, way back here. Drive 2 right over here, and drive 3 way up in there, the 1 in the $75,000 to $100,000 range in Bitcoin if we get there. But that's got to give about 53,000 before that can happen, folks. It's having a great deal of time right now, right now. The ideal situation for us is if it breaks down below that 31,000 level and goes to 28 to 20,000. That will be Christmas Day, whatever day that is. When we hit somewhere around 20-some thousand, that'll be it. So we'll have some ideas on which cryptos to buy at that time, and only that time only, because that's when you want to buy them when they're cheap, buy them when they're crying, and sell them when they're yelling. The buyers and the sellers are all different fellas. So we just got to wait for that point, and that's what we want to do. Remember, tomorrow is our guest, as Mr. Jim, who flies the F-18s, is going to be our guest, Jim Bartolioni of Bart's Chart, and that's it. Crude oil has certainly been a sell up there at that 109 level. That was a 1.618 expansion on the half-hour chart, 109.44. And we'll keep an eye on that. But the crude oil, folks, has not taken out the 382, and that, folks, was at 117. So if crude oil can get above 117, it would be breaking the 382, and that would tell you that we're getting ready to go higher. But until that happens, it looks like we're going lower. Just look at the charts in the 24/7 section of trading, what you see. We'll see you on the flip side tomorrow with our guest, Jim Bartolioni. May God bless, and live every day in an attitude of gratitude.